Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Rob Livson. I'm one of the VPs of Sales and Business Development here at Lightspeed. We try to provide a lot of various educational content as far as our trading platform upgrades, our offerings, some different presenters on different educational parts of trading as well. So today is going to be about the Lightspeed Trader software and customizing your layout. It's really going to focus on the different display features, how to do some page setups and linking and layouts and different display features. Before we get started, I just want to go over our disclosure here. This webinar is for informational purposes only. In no way is this to be construed as any type of educational advice, guidance, or instruction as far as trading. Everything here is simply for demonstration purposes. Nothing should be considered actual advice or guidance here. We do have plenty of other disclosures on our website as well. If you go down and see our disclosures here on the bottom page, you can see there's risk disclosure statements, day trading and margin disclosures. So please make sure that day trading is appropriate and you're suitable to take on the various risks involved in day trading and margin, and understand the risks and the market volatility aspects of trading and options trading here as well. So you can view all this information on the website. All of our webinars are stored on the Lightspeed homepage. You can see under Resources tab under Webinars. You can always see our upcoming schedule. Anything coming, here's today's. You can always look at any of our recent webinars as well. We have advanced order entry, some strategy webinars. We had a tax return webinar, and you can view our entire webinar archive as well. So you can ask some questions as we go along. We'll certainly set some time at the end of the webinar for questions as well. So hopefully I can get to the various topics. If it relates to what I'm talking about at the moment, I'll try to answer it, but I'll certainly circle back and try to get back to you as well. And if you do have questions, you can always email us at service@lightspeed.com, or if you're looking to open up a new account, sales@lightspeed.com, and you certainly could always try a demo of the platform as well. Just out of curiosity, I just was wondering how many people are actually account holders versus prospective account holders looking to test out Lightspeed Trader. If you wouldn't mind just replying back in the chat room, yes, if you do have an account, or no, if you don't have an account. Okay, thanks guys. Make sure everyone's listening. Okay, so we will get started here. So here is one of the standard layouts for the Lightspeed Trader platform. You can open up various layouts from your layout menu on the top main index bar. The main index bar is where your various criteria for different windows can be opened and utilized. So this is where everything is derived from your main index bar. It has access to any new window that you want to open here. Your utilities will get you to your settings, your overall main settings, and then you can view each individual window here, and then your layout menu. So we do provide a way to load predefined layouts. So if I select a layout, I can immediately switch to some of the layouts that we offer. We have a smaller basic layout here, and you can also open up a larger size layout as well. So those are predefined. Everyone has those built in as your starting point. Now you can create a brand new page at any time by going to the page and going to add new page. So I can replace my existing layout, or I could just add additional pages to my layout. So if I want to go with a page number 2, I say OK, and all I need to do is go to my new menu, and this is where I can start to open up different windows and build a whole new page. So I can have something for scanners, risers and fallers. I can have something with my news headlines. So I could create a page dedicated simply for scanners if I wanted to, if I wanted a ticker alert. So all I have to do now is, if I go back to my page, I could flip back to my original page right away, or I can flip back to my page 2, which I just created. So you can easily flip between different page layouts to have different layout pages here available. So it's a really nice way. There's a lot of different pages and layouts that you can add here as well. You can build one for equities. You can build one specifically for options here. So if I wanted to do so, I simply can create a new page with just an option level 2, an option chain, an option time and sales, and a complex options order entry. I simply have to organize it to any way I would like, and I have a brand new layout that's in addition to my standard layout. If I change my symbol here, my chain, that's going to change my entire series of windows, and then simply have to go back to my equities page or go right back to my options page. So you can create a lot of different pages just based on groupings and label them and add new pages. So it's very easy and it's very quick to load. You can see how quick I can flip right through there. Now, if I want to save this layout, this will save to my actual computer. So I would go into my save layout as function, and this will save it as a backup to my actual computer. When you log off and you save your layout, that will save to the Lightspeed server, but it's always good to save it to your computer as well as a backup. So this, I can always pull back this layout even if I somehow close it out and don't save function. But if I do close out a program, it's going to ask me to save my changes as well. So that's always a good thing to do when you want to save your particular layout or changes you made. You always get asked this question, save all changes before you log out. Now, if I do want to load a layout that I had previously, I would go to my load save layout selection, and I could easily go to a different layout that I had previously, and I could load a saved layout here. You can see this one I had built has different hot buttons available and just a couple other windows as well. So what I want to go through here now would be through some of the colors and fonts and display settings here, and including the level 2 and just the various windows here, and then we'll get into some other windows as well. So people are looking, a couple questions quickly here. If I go into the Lightspeed website, if I go into resources on Lightspeed Trader, you can download the latest version of Lightspeed here for your 62 or 32-bit computer. They have the installation guide. There's various release notes on any upgraded features that are available in the documentation. Then there's also the Lightspeed manual, which will provide for all aspects of the program, trading settings, display settings, and all documentation as well. So that's all available in the resources under Lightspeed Trader. Additional pages don't use additional bandwidth. It's only accessing one page at a time, so feel free to open up many pages. It's not going to slow you down at all. You're not going to notice the difference whether you have one page or a lot of pages here. Okay, so let's go back to our original layout here, and I'll go over some of the ways you can go. So now I have a level 2 window. This is where you can view the various price tiers, the bids and offers. So you can customize any window. You can right click, you can go into your settings, your level 1 fonts, your level 2 design columns right from there, or I simply could click on the gear. The gear is going to access your settings menu in any window. This could bring you to your quotes, your designs, your layouts as well. So there's 2 different ways to access your settings. One is to right click and get a menu. The other is to click on the gear in each particular window. If I go to my level 2 design fonts and colors, this is where you could configure some of the information. So I can use a default level 2 color right there. That will change the colors. So some people like to have different colors to separate your bids and offers. I can also right click and go to select a level 2 skin. This will allow you to change the colors based on some of the predefined skins that we have available. So you can see all the different ones here and easily change them. So whatever works best for you, you can easily customize that. Now I can also go back and I could just change my own background colors for each level if I wanted this one to be purple instead. I can do that, and I could change each individual color myself. So it's up to you how you want that to be displayed. Same with the font. I can change the color of the font here. Under level 2 fonts, you could make it larger or smaller or different script here. So if I want to go a little smaller, I hit OK. You can see I could change however this display works best for you. Some like it a lot larger, so it's really whatever works best for your eyes here. If I go back here, I could also show my columns: quantity, market maker, and price. So that's simply right-clicking and going to your show column or hide column names. You could put your lines in or take your lines away. Then you also have your level 1 fonts or settings. You could change your background colors. You could change your defaults as well. Also here, if you do have additional depth of book, I could add different direct quotes, different lines, amounts of levels for the amount of quotes for each exchange. In the design, I have additional fields that I can change, and in my layout, I can add additional columns. If I want to put in a change percentage or a change amount, I just have to click it. So if I want to see the primary exchange, I could just click and drag that over. If I want to see imbalance information, I just have to adjust. So all these data columns would be available here, and I even have a VWAP column as well. So I just added 3 more columns. I hit OK. Looks like it's a little cramped there, so due to my font. Well, it looks like I changed that, but that's where you would be able to make your various changes there. And then you could always go back to an original one as well. Now you can highlight certain ECN fields. You can, if I want to, so you can change a lot of the settings here as well. If I want to change the background color of pretty much any window, I go to the style. I can change the background if I want a white background of any columns, and then you would just change the text as well. So really, whatever color works best for you. If you want a white background, you want a black background, then you can change a lot of the different styles here for your option chain. So each window has their own settings. So if I click on the settings for each window, you basically can change a lot of the display or the style settings for each individual window here. So I could change how each one would be as a save style, or I could change the background, the text, or the foreground as well, or the fonts or the colors. So all that would be able to be configured. So some people like a lighter background with darker text, some like the dark background or not. Yes, so Rich asked a question about multiple windows, multiple order entry windows. So yes, that's certainly available. You'd go into the new menu and you would select an additional level 2 window, and all I have to do is add a new symbol here, and you can see I have 2 different windows. Now I can also open up another chart as well, and I can link one chart to one column and then one chart to another order entry window as well. So the linking would be very important. It's a specific place you have to click on the window. So if I right click on the top window border, I would go to my link selection, and you can see it then asks me which quote window do I want to link this to. So I could link one to the Facebook, and I could link one to the Apple. So I have this one linked to Facebook. I right click on the top. This one will be to Apple. So if I change this one, you can see my bottom chart changed, but the top one did not. If I change the top one now, my top chart will change as well. So you can link any grouping of windows together. Same thing with my option chain. I could choose which quote window I want to link it to by selecting the link menu and choosing which quote menu to link it to. So you can have a whole series of charts and windows linked together for your order entry as well. Right click on my order entry, I can link that to whichever one I want. So when I change the bottom one, the order entry is not going to change. It's just going to change my bottom row of data. If I want to change the top, that's going to change the top and the order entry as well. So that's now linked together. Okay, I see some questions coming in for some trading settings, so I could get to those a little later, but I really just want to focus on just some of the layout and display features. So let's continue with just some of these as well, but certainly if you guys have further questions on trading selections or configurations, we can try to get to those, or you always can email us for all calls. So with a chart, the same thing. I would right click, I go to my display. That's going to allow me to change any of the selections as far as the axis, the level 1 selections. On the chart parameters, this is where I could change my time frame or add additional tabs. If I want a 1 minute tab, I can select that. I could name it and add it. You can see a new tab is selected. I could change the type of chart here. Candle. I could change the width and the line width here. I could show the volume or not. I can change the different studies I want to apply here. Simple moving average, 20 period. I just click add. That's on there. If I want a Bollinger Band as well, your average bar, I click add, and that applies that study as well. If I go into the style, this is where I could change some of the background as well. We have predefined ones here, but you can also change the background as well to any color you want. If for some reason you wanted certain colors would be available, so if I wanted a darker one, you can do that, or you can just use our saved layouts and you could change how the text is viewed as far as the numbers and the characters and the size of the fonts here as well. So everything is derived from your right-clicking, going to your menu, or clicking on the gear to bring out the particular menu here as well. The order entry windows, it's limited to 6 at one time. You can request to have those increased, so you just have to email us to increase your limits. So I had some questions about the order entry defaults. So if I would click on my order entry gear and go into the settings menu, these are your standard defaults here. So you have different tabs for different order entry defaults. One is when you first log in. If you want to set your initial quantity to a certain amount, if I want that to be 500, I would set that there. If I want a certain market or destination available, I would change it here along with my price. If I want a limit, a stop, that would be where I would change when I first log in. Then you have based on when you have a mouse or a quote click. So when you click on a quote, I could change this as well. I could set a certain quantity. Let's just say I want 1,000 to be my quantity. And then I could also set where I want the bid to be, or the offer, or my current price on my limit orders as well. So right now I just have a limit of ARCA 1,000 shares. If I click on quote, you can see this updated to 1,000 shares, and market is ARCA, and it's a limit order. So that's my new default. You can also have tier sizes set here for different defaults. Certain symbols can have certain tier sizes specifically. So if I want to make Apple 500, I can add that. So let's just say I type in Apple. That's now my tier size. The tier size is actually based off of your level 2 window, and it's based off of your hotkeys as well. But then your other tier sizes can be here. You can change these on your keypad, and the tier sizes actually don't relate to your order entry, but to your hotkeys and your hot buttons. So I could quickly show you that as well. So if I create a hot button here, we'll do a tier size, ARCA bid tier. I'll add that. So we see right now I have a tier here. This is tier 1. So I hit my ARCA bid tier. I have a bid of 100. If I change my tier size to 500, the same key, ARCA bid tier, is now going to bid 500 shares. So your tier size will dictate what your hotkeys or your hot buttons will generate for your order size based on the tier size in your level 2 and your size of your order. You can link externally to other programs as well. If I go into my menu and go into the linking selection, this does allow you to add a link. So if you have a program like eSignal, I would take my logo and I would link that to an actual outside program, and that will allow me to link that to eSignal and allow some of the data to flow through and transfer over, and allows you to update certain programs by typing into that program, or updating Lightspeed by typing into that program as well. So if I type the symbol into eSignal, it would then update my Lightspeed order entry in level 2. So you can see a lot of the different hot buttons that I am able to create here. I have buy market tier, I have stop bid, stop offer tiers, ARCA bid, ARCA offer tier, I have closeout orders, and these all can be configured for different share size, different markets, and also different fonts and colors. So if I have a closeout all, I can make that button fully red. I hit OK, so you can have a closeout as a red button. So your displays allow you to change either the font or the full color of that button as well. So if I have a cell closeout full, you see I have the font there, but I can also maybe change that to a white background. And it's an easy way to differentiate some of your different buttons there. So you can see these hot buttons, I have them linked to different functions here. So if I want to go to my hotkeys on my keyboard, I can go right to the menu. If I have my custom orders I want to build, that will bring me to that menu selection. I can add alerts directly from a hot button as well. I can also go to outside news sources. I have them linked up to my level 2. So I click on Yahoo News, that immediately will link over to Yahoo Finance. I could go to immediate news. Or if I want to check out if there's trending news on Twitter, that will go directly to that page as well. So there's different ways you can set up those orders. And then you have your full set of cancels and closeouts as well, all custom orders. There are some other windows now available, so I did want to go over some of the newer features. You can see on the upper right-hand corner, I have the TipRanks. TipRanks will show the highest rated stocks, buy, sell, and hold from different analyst ratings. So if I go into Apple, you can see this will update analyst ratings. You can see will give me the various price target on average, buy or sell ratings, give me the ranking of each analyst's name. So it's a great way for you to be able to, if you're looking to do buy and hold or different investment strategies, you can look at the analyst consensus, the insider activity, see if there's negative or positive sentiment based on the insiders, the amount they sell. You can also view the hedge fund activity. Hedge funds bought a lot recently, so you do have some confidence that they are expecting the direction to go a little bit higher. So the TipRanks is a very new feature that we've added, but it's a great way to see what people out there are focusing on and what their thoughts are as far as the insider activity, hedge fund activity, analyst ratings, and rankings. And then we do provide the highest rated stocks as well, and you can view the different ratings there. I just have to click, it's going to populate, and then that will populate my analyst ratings. So that's found in the new menu. On the bottom section, you have your daily ratings, your highest rated stocks, and your analyst ratings. So if I go to my daily ratings, you can just view different articles and different ratings here as well. So it's a really great feature that has been added. Another tool that we provided is the Lightscan tool. It's a great filter that you can be enabled for. You just have to request it. It's not a default setting. You just have to email service@lightspeed.com, and you can see this provides a full scan of the markets based on whatever sorted category you would like. Right now it's just based on volume. If I right click, I go to my settings. I can add different filtered parameters here. I could filter between certain prices, certain volume ranges, net change percentage ranges. I could get rid of anything that's making highs or lows or the time span and certain markets. So there's a lot of filters, and then there's a lot of data columns that you can use. So if I want to see what's making 52-week highs or what has a percentage gap today, I could add those columns. I simply have to sort, and I could see what has the highest percentage gap today, and I could go right to those symbols. So it's a really good way to sort and scan the market, see for activity based on percentage change, net change. All those data columns that we have available can be used for sorting and searching for what's available. So you can add different Greek data, you can cost-based, you can put your own position information on there as well. So you just have to email service@lightspeed.com. And just ask for the Lightscan feature. So you can see all the different columns that we do have. Primary gap, percentage, gap open, close, spread, today's volume, volume shares, previous close, imbalance information. If something's really missing or important to you, you can always email us, and we always try to take suggestions and add as well. Jermaine asks, can I mirror different trades on different layout pages to have one mirror another? No, the pages aren't going to interact or mimic trades. Every order would have to be placed separately. Modifying orders, yes, you simply have to right-click on an order to modify. So if I have an open order here, if I right-click, I can modify and change the market, change the price, hit modify, and that will do a cancel replace. If you do have an option order, you can't right click and modify, but there are hotkeys and hot buttons available to increase or decrease by 5, 10, or 25 cents. So essentially it is a modify. It's a very easy way to do a modify or cancel replace order with a hotkey. So that is available. If you do have questions on that, you certainly can call in as well. And like I showed before, we do have access to a news feed, so you can view all the instant headlines here. Now there's two different ways you can view it. So if I change, I can view all news or just for that particular headline. So this one's for all the news. This is going to give you all streaming news that's coming through. I just have to click and it'll give me the different articles and information. Sometimes it's just a streaming headline. Sometimes it's a full article. If I right click and I go to show news for the quote, that will give me the news for that particular symbol in my level 2. So all these have GNC associated with it. And that will give you the full article if it's available. So it's a good way to filter out, so you can have two news windows, one specifically for your symbols you're watching and one for all news headlines as well. Sure, so once again, the scanner is the Lightscan. That would be by request. The news is available with your standard data feed, and so would TipRanks be available. We do also have a new feature, which would be the short request locator. This allows you to place an additional locate request for shares that are not easy to borrow. You simply have to put in the amount of shares. You would hit the locate button and it will provide you with a quote. These are pre-borrow fees, so you will have to agree to the fee prior to accepting it, and that fee is applied regardless if you use the shares for a trade or not, but it does allow you to place a short sell order where it would not be available. So it's a very fast method. It's usually just a couple seconds. This is a demo, so it's not in sync, but essentially if I hit the locate, it'll give me a quote, $1, $5, $10 for that 1,000 shares, and I choose to agree, and then I can place the order. So that's another great new feature that we've added, and you just have to request this as well. This is by request, so it's a short request. If you want to add that feature, just email, once again, service@lightspeed.com. Make sure to include your trader ID as well in your request. Some other windows that we have out here, we do have order imbalances available. So you can view buy or sell, net imbalance. Here I could right click, listed only, NASDAQ only, and you can go into your order imbalances. You have available fields that you can put in there. You can change the color just like everything else. And all these different data columns can be used here as well. Additionally, we would have the block trade filter. This is going to display large prints on different exchanges. It's not really populating now. There's not as many prints going off, but you can see here a 30,000 share print in CHK did just go off on the ADFN. So a lot of people like to use this, scan through some dark pool executions, see what larger people are trading, and get an idea of where active stocks are. And it's a great way to scan various markets for what's active and what large prints are going off. This is all included as well, and you could filter this by minimum share size, 10, 15, 20, 50,000 shares, certain price levels. If you only want to trade stocks above $25, you can do so. So it's a great tool to search, especially the ADFN, the alternative display. You're not going to see these on the time and sales at all times, and a lot of other trading software programs do not offer the block trade filter, so it is very proprietary to Lightspeed Trader. And if we want to build a new page here, we can do so. So if I wanted to do something for options, I could do that quickly again. Option level 2, my option chain, and then we have our complex options order entry. This is where I would place my spread orders. So I can do on my level 2, my single orders, buying one contract. See here, this is the 450 call. But if I want to do multiple contracts or complex options, I can add the strategy, or I have a setting where I could just double click, here in my order mode. And these are where all your defaults can be, your option market, your complex, your order type, your price settings. All your settings can be available here. But now if I just double click, you can see it populates my option order entry right away, and I can place a spread order pretty quickly. If I click on the bid, it's going to give me a sell order. If I click on the offer, it'll give me a buy order. And then you can see it tells me if I'm paying or receiving, if it's a credit or debit spread. I hit go. You can see in my confirm, I am selling one, buying one, but it's 5 quantity. That's the ratio. So it's quantity of 5, my buying power requirement, and then the order can get placed very easily. You can see the various strategies you can do, straddles, strangles, butterflies, or covered calls even. So even if I right click on one, I want to add option strategy, I can do a covered call. I can buy the 100 shares, and then I could sell the call at the same time. So I'm able to place the combination order of the stock and the option all at the same time very easily. All these can be set for different defaults, different colors, different styles as well. Justin asks if you can change the different colors. You can do that for your level 1 active or inactive. So if you want to focus more on what's active, let's just say I can, just for example, I can make my active ones yellow. And then my inactive one's a different color. So you can could change the different colors of an active versus an inactive one if you want to separate the various colors there. Mike, futures data is not available for Lightspeed Trader. We do have other products for that, so certainly you could call or email us if you do want to learn more about our futures offerings, but Lightspeed Trader would not provide that. And if you don't like the changes you make, you don't have to save them. You could go right back to loading a previously saved layout. Also on your positions window, you can add a lot of different columns as well, just like your watch list. Maybe I skipped over that. If I just go into my columns, any of these data columns can be added. Your positions, your cost basis, your estimated marked P&L, marked intraday P&L, or if I go into the different changes, percentage change from the open, percentage change. So all these data columns are available for you to add to your positions window, and the same thing as your watch list. I go into my watch list, change columns. You can add anything here, level 1, but you can see this full drop down in the available menu to be able to change and add a whole new list of data columns. So I have change, I have the Greeks, you have your imbalance data, level 1, high, low, so all 30-day ADV. All this can be added, whether if the symbol is borrowable, easy to borrow, your daily high or low. So there's really a lot of different data columns that you can add to your watch list or your positions window. In regards to the ticker alert, if I right click, I go to change, you can put the column time on there. I could click add, so it is available. Click add, slide it over. And then if I just double click, that's going to sort by that time. Sorry, I'm rushing through this. I'm trying to get through a lot here. There's a lot of settings, a lot of customization you can do. You know, it's just so much to go through. We always do offer personal training sessions one-on-one if you do want some help with configuring the layout, your colors, your display, or even some of your trade settings. We certainly would be open to taking some time individually and providing you with some training. We do try to provide personalized service and support, so certainly take us up on that to go over some of the various features. It is a lot. I'm learning every day. I've been here for 3+ years, so there's always a lot more to learn. Okay, do we have Other questions that I could help you guys with as far as some of the settings? I know some of you had some various trade setup questions, which may be a little bit better to go into individually than through the platform, but certainly be happy to discuss anything that's kind of relevant here. Lightspeed tries to provide with a lot of offerings. Sure. So someone asked a little bit more about the charting. I can easily flip through the various time frames. If I go to the chart parameters, you can see the different time periods available: 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, daily, weekly, monthly. I just have to click on it. If I want to add a new tab, I name it and click add. Then you can see in the bottom here, I just added a new 30-minute tab. If I right click, I go to studies. This is where I can add a simple moving average, a volume weighted moving average, and a MACD line, Bollinger Bands, Fibonacci lines. Maybe that one's not enabled for my demo, but you can see all these different studies are going to be available here. Bollinger Bands, click add, and you can see that instantly applies that. Scanning order imbalances, so you have either the order imbalances tab, the window that you can use, and you can sort by any of these columns. I simply have to double click. I can sort by my sell imbalance or my buy imbalance, or I can go to my Lightscan, which is my built-in feature here. I could add an imbalance column and I could sort by that as well. So you have two different ways to view your imbalances. Yes, Derek asked about some of the symbols available on the top right of the level 2. So this will display your margin requirement. 25% is your standard margin requirement. It's going to change if you have a leverage ETF or something that's non-marginable. It could be 60, 75%, 90%, even 100%. So that's going to dictate what buying power is required. The L indicates if it's a locate required or an easy to borrow stock. Now this is a demo, so it's not hooked up to our easy to borrow list, but if it's easy to borrow, that's going to show up as an E. If it's going to show up as a T, that means it's a threshold security and it's not available to short at all. A locate required means you can email our service desk to request additional shares. If it's a CB, that indicates there's a circuit breaker, and that would change the status for shorting. You would only be able to short at an uptick. So that's dictated by the exchanges. If a certain percentage move occurs a certain time frame, it's indicated as a circuit breaker. The TipRanks would be available. So you just go to the new, on your newest version of software, TipRanks would be included. So that is not something you need to add. That would be available. You can show your executions or orders on a chart as well. If I right click, I go to my trading menu. I can show my active orders. I could show executed orders as well. Executions or canceled. So if I have my CHK, let's just say I wanted to first, let's show an order. So I have a buy at 560. You can see this is my green order line here, 100 shares at 560. I can drag it and adjust my order, I get a confirm for a replace going to 569. I click yes, and you can see that order then did execute. So you can chart your orders. If I want to then place my sell order, it's indicated with the red line here as well. I can then click and adjust as well. Now for your executions, it shows on certain time frames. So let's see, it should plot some execution points on there. It is available. Some certain things in the demo may not always display, but it would be available in the active thing. You can show your actual execution points as well. So if anyone's interested in opening an account that does not have an account, certainly you could email sales@lightspeed.com. We do offer brokerage services on a retail level, not any prop trading leverage, but a retail level. You can request a demo from the upper right-hand corner to try a demo. You can always go to our open account application process as well. It's a very quick and easy process to go through. And certainly you could always email me directly. It's rlivson@lightspeed.com. For any questions, or you can email sales@lightspeed.com as well. So you'd go for the support, you'd go to service. If you're looking for a new account, go to sales. And we'd be happy to discuss helping you open an account and any of the features. And anyone here who does not have an account, certainly reach out to me and we can see what we can do for you. I'd be happy to go through the process and what's available. And I thank everyone for attending here today. If you have further questions, don't hesitate. Everyone knows I answer emails very quickly, but so does our full support staff as well. So just give us a call or email. We'd be happy to assist you as best we can. So we're always running additional webinars and try to get you some more material and educational material here as well to help you utilize the software and our offerings a little bit better and to provide you with some additional service as well. So I hope everyone's able to see that and enjoy the programs that we offer, and just let us know how we can help. This recording will be available in the next couple days on the website along with our other ones. So just look for that, and then just look for any new webinar postings that we will have as well. They should be coming out shortly. And if I didn't cover anything or if I went too fast, certainly just give us a call or email me. But guys, thank you very much for your comments and for participating and asking questions. So we're happy to help, and thank you guys very much, and have a great day. And hopefully we'll be in touch with anyone. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys.